thank you so much for tuning into my channel Urban Tropical. Before I start, I just want to say you might hear the washing machine noise in the background, so please excuse me for that. We are going to talk about today fungus gnats, and I just want to show you the problem I had. My house was full of fungus gnats, and I am one of those people who always underwater plants. I have never actually killed anything with overwatering. I'm more likely to kill a plant because it dried to bone and eventually died. So how did I get this? The number one reason it happens is if you are good with your watering, when you buy a new plant, it will be infected with the fungus gnats and you will have no idea. All you will do is inspect it. You don't see any fly on it, and you will say it's good and I can move it with my other plants. That's exactly what happened. But because of the life cycle of fungus gnats, it takes time for the larvae to turn into a fly, and that's exactly what happened. So before I dive into it, how I got rid of all my fungus gnats problems, I just think it's so important that we understand the life cycle of a fungus gnat. If we don't understand that, you can never get rid of this problem forever. So actually I was saying that so seriously, but it is true. It is true. So I think let's just get on for a second how it really works with the fungus gnats life cycle, and then we are going to talk about how can we get rid of them forever. So fungus gnat, they lay their eggs in a moist soil approximately 2 to 3 centimeters into our pots. They lay up to 200 to 300 eggs, and then that eggs eventually becomes larvae, which eventually turns into adult fly, which again lays 200 to 300 eggs. So if I have captured the fly before it laid eggs, I am good. But if I have captured the fly after it had laid the eggs, I am going in cycles here. That means those will eventually turn into flies and they will carry on what their mother couldn't finish. So what we need to do is get rid of both. So the common thing which you will hear is apple cider vinegar. It's fantastic. If you have a few flies hanging around here and there, you can trap them. Just put just a dot of dishing soap and just leave them hanging around in a bowl or in a jar. All the flies will get attracted. So that's what I always used to do because I never had a storm of fungus gnats. So that's number one thing you can do. But if you have the problem I did, it can only go so far. So if you have a tiny problem, it's a good solution. But if you have a big problem, this is no good. It can still work on the side as an assistant. Second thing, you will hear hydrogen peroxide. Actually, the strange thing is if I make it very strong solution, then I can see the larva is being killed by this. But if I use a lighter solution, it doesn't work and it will not kill the adult fly. So you are only killing the eggs and the larva. So it will work on certain criteria, not on all of them. So it's good as a side thing, but it will not get rid of it completely. The other thing most commonly talked about, neem oil, is fantastic. Again, it will kill some of the fungus gnats, but it will not get rid of it completely. So if you have a few problems here and there, you are fine with it. Another thing talked about, actually you can see how much I have used it. I have not used it mostly for fungus gnats. I have used them for, it's called springtails. That's another problem I have to get rid of. I will not talk about that in this one. So this one is, I could never pronounce it. This one is diatomaceous earth, and it's human grade, I think it's called human safe something, food grade, yes, food grade. This one, it works like, it cuts through the body, so it will kill anything in your soil. And I have tried and I have seen it killing the larva, but that was only because I was trying to kill the springtails and I saw it happening. So it does work, but the problem with this one is as soon as you water your plant, it kind of becomes more solid and it stops working and it looks really hideous on top of your plants. So for me, It works, but it's not a go-go if you have a big problem. So how do we get rid of it? It's a combination. You have to talk about two things here. First thing is you have to kill the adults so that they do not lay any eggs, which eggs in turn will turn back into flies. So that's number one step. Number two step is you need to kill the eggs, the larvae, stopping them turning into flies. So they go hand in hand. And that's the key thing here. Thing which really works is called mosquito bits. I will just put link at the bottom. So it's sold at Amazon around 27 pounds. It was really expensive and I end up buying something cheaper. It's called mosquito dunks. It was almost half the price. And as you can see, I have used extremely little. So I have just put them in a big watering can and left them overnight, and I have watered my plants. So I just did small chunks every time I was watering and just leaving it overnight and just watering my plants. So what it will do, actually what it did, it killed the eggs, the larvae. So I had such a reduction in the amount of flies I used to see within a week. That means the cycle was breaking. And then I bought these. These are absolutely fantastic. They do look hideous when you look at them and all the flies. My kids really don't like to see this around. And before I throw this away, I just wanted to shoot this video. So it's going to attract all the flies. That means they can't lay the eggs. Every single time you catch a fly, you have potentially saved it from, say, laying 200 to 300 eggs. And now you can imagine how many flies you have saved yourself from. Actually, flies is the only thing which kind of makes me feel so disgusting. When I look at it, I lose my peace. If I'm drinking a cup of tea, I'm just dying to put a cup of tea down and I just want to catch the fly so quickly. It's just, I am not at peace when I see all these fungus gnats lying around. The other thing I wanted to say was fungus gnats are not spreading any fungus in your plants. They are there because they feed on fungus. That's the key thing, and that's why they are called fungus gnats. And the only thing I would say is that I really don't overwater, but I am having all these overwatering problems with my plants. Not all of them, the fussy ones. But the whole point of this is I really hope that you do learn from my mistakes and you don't have to really buy all these different things. If you have a small problem, you can literally deal with these simple solutions at home. But if the problem is out of hand, do use this. The only thing I would like to add in the end is that there are suggestions that if you put sand at the top of your pot, it's good because the fly can't dig deep into it to lay the eggs. So it has to go, it can't just lay the eggs, so eventually it dies. But then I do read a lot of forums. So I have seen on the forums where people have said it doesn't really work. So I think all it comes down to is how big your problem is. If I had a literally small problem, I know I would have said the same thing. Sand is so fantastic, it works. But when there is a storm of them, I think they will eventually find a way to go down. The other thing with the sand is you have to figure out how dry your plant pot is, because normally I will just look at the top or put my finger deep down into it and judge how much I need to water, but then I will lose all that. But I do think if you have a small problems, you don't need to spend a lot of money to figure things out. But this one was around 15 pounds and these ones are really cheap on Amazon, and I do think they are so fantastic. The problem with this one is I really don't like the smell of a vinegar in my house, especially if I'm sitting on my dining table and I have a plants and I put vinegar there. It really puts me off. I mean, sticky tape does put you off as well when you see them hanging around, but I just think it's a bit more neater and you can just you don't have to smell anything. That's all it is. But I really hope that it was useful for you, and thank you so much for watching. And if you do have springtail problems, I'm going to talk about that because I was so stressed about it and they really gave me a hard time, and it's the worst thing to happen. I mean, I would normally think spider mites are a problem until I had springtails. I didn't even know what springtails were until I had experienced them, and they are literally the monsters of pests. I don't think they cause much harm to the plant, but it's the paranoia you have when you know, I mean, I wouldn't want to have insects in my pots, you know, but I have no choice, and I'm trying to get rid of them. I have got rid of so many of them, and this I will not say is fantastic, but it does work, and I will shoot another video on that, how I got rid of springtails which were not very good. But thank you so much, guys. Bye bye.